Allopathic medication, part 2. The term allopathic medicine and allopathy are drawn from the Greek prefix allos, other, different, plus the suffix pathos, suffering. So it means other sufferings, different sufferings, as provided by the original Greek compound word. Let's talk about the history of allopathic medication. The term allopathy was used by the homeopaths, and the practice of medicine in both Europe and North America during the early 19th century is sometimes referred to as a heroic medicine. This heroic medicine was in fact mentioned by the allopaths because of the extreme measures such as bloodletting, sometimes employed in an effort to treat diseases. The term allopath was used by Hahnemann and the other early homeopaths to highlight the difference they perceived between the homeopathy and the conventional heroic medicine of their time. With the term allopathy meaning other than the disease, so the term allopathy means other than the disease. Allo means different, pathy means suffering, the disease. So allopathy means other than the disease. Hahnemann intended to point out how the physicians with conventional training employed therapeutic approaches that, in his view, merely treated the symptoms and failed to address the disharmony produced by underlying disease. Homeopaths such Homeopaths saw such symptomatic treatments as opposite treating opposites and believed these methods were harmful to the patients. Practitioners of alternative medicines have used the term allopathic medicine to refer to the practice of conventional medicine in both Europe and the United States since the 19th century. In that century, the term allopath was used most often as a derogatory name for practitioners of heroic medicine, a precursor to modern medicine that itself did not rely on the evidence of effectiveness. James Wharton discusses this historical pejorative usage, and he says, one form of verbal warfare used in retaliation by irregulars was the word allopathy. Allopathy and allopathic were liberally employed by pejoratives by all irregular physicians of the 19th century, and the terms were considered highly offensive by those at whom they were directed. The generally uncomplaining acceptance of the term allopathic medicine by today's physicians is an indication of both a lack of awareness of the term's historical use and the recent thawing of relations between irregulars and allopaths. It happens very commonly in history. Well, the Aristotle's forms of state provided for polity and democracy. When he provided for the perverted form of monarchy was dictatorship. The perverted form of uh, aristocracy was oligarchy, and the perverted form of polity was democracy. See, it was a perverted form. But when we talk about the modern states, we talk about the presidential systems of government, the parliamentary system of government. Don't you see that democracy was raised as the welfare state, as the most ideal form of the government, form of the state? Sometimes the words are misused, and they are misused because of the unawareness ignorance on the part of the users. The same is true to allopathy, and the same is true to the world democracy.